Stop! Look, I can't be here right now.
Anne!
Don't follow me! Don't! I see you!
Hey, what's up guys? The most recent fiery episodes of Amphibia just dropped this past Saturday, and boy, let me tell ya, I was going into this believing that it wasn't going to be as exciting as what was presented. Both episodes, Ivy on the Run and After the Rain, were well done and something that I can't wait to discuss with you all. And it's no wonder why After the Rain was the one with the hidden synopsis. Right from the very beginning, you can already determine what type of a person Ivy is, with her bedroom containing ninja stars, a target for axe and knife throwing, and potentially a map of the entire world of Amphibia. She's adventurous, dangerously good with weaponry, and basically hardcore to sum it all up. I don't even believe Sprig has this many weapons in his room. And speaking of Sprig, we do get a close-up of the map showing where he and the rest had to travel in order to make it to Newtopia. And crap, they literally had to nearly go in an entire circle, which I'm only guessing was to avoid having to boat overseas or something. And within the promo for part B of season 2, we do see Marcy transporting the Plantars with a royal bird. Also, I totally believe that since they went around these areas when traveling, we're expected to visit there soon, probably due to one of the temples being located there. One place in particular is Swamp Shiro. Ivy attempts to head out north to hang out with Sprig until she's stopped by her mother, who tells her to instead first perfect some of her chores, which is something Ivy does for the time being, but is almost immediately interrupted capturing glitter bugs with Sprig just moments later for a tea ceremony. Now, the way she contacted Ivy caught me off guard a bit, considering how you don't exactly see technology advancements like this commonly used in Amphibia. I for one haven't even seen anything remotely close to bee phones in Newtopia of all places either. Now, it could all just be speculation, and these are just well-trained bee creatures helping to communicate messages throughout the townsfolk, much like how we witness Ivy using a beetle as an alarm clock. There's also Anne and Polly in this episode training one another about the wonders of Muay Thai, a martial arts sport that Anne explains is something her mother got her into because she was friggin' annoying. You'd think they would mention a detail like this back in season 1, but I guess they waited until now so that Anne better prepares Polly for any dangers just in case. Cause despite Polly's tomboyish nature, she does need to work on her fighting routine instead of just simply relying on jumping headfirst into danger without any coordination. Much like how Ivy goes in headfirst attempting to run away from her home, something that in a way her very own posters influenced her into doing. She's thankfully unsuccessful in doing so once her mother manages to catch up with Ivy and challenges her to a martial arts showdown. And if Ivy somehow wins just one match, she no longer has to have tea lessons. And to everyone's shock, Ivy's mother proves herself by winning the first two, as well as teaching Ivy how her tea preparation movements are all direct similarities to martial arts techniques.
Jacket on.
I'll have a jacket.
Jacket on.
Come on, don't tell me that I was the only one who thought of that. And so Felicia allows Ivy to win the final round, soon explaining to her how she knew those moves, which ended up being because of the many travels she made while collecting her exotic tea collection. Oh yeah, and her husband. By the way, there's no confirmation on whether or not her father left her or if he's passed away or anything else, but I'm only to guess that he probably passed away for all we know. This encourages Ivy to be more patient, and though she has an adventurous heart like her mother, she understands that more training is necessary. Also, I love how Wally is just witnessing this entire charade, resulting in a punch to the face on accident.
To be honest, I have no idea what's going on. You what?
That was technically your fault.
The next part starts off with Anne receiving a letter from Marcy, who explains within the letter that all is finalized and therefore they are ready to move on to the first temple. And being the genius gamer girl she is, she also gives them a checklist of things to bring with them for the trip. The list consisting of food, weapons, totally was expecting them to use the ones found in that family bunker, armor, but Habadiah didn't exactly care for combat armor however, and last but surely without a shadow of a doubt, not least, the music box. This of course startles Hot Pop and gets him into a panic, so later on in the night he attempts to sneak his way to where he previously buried it, only to come to the realization that it no longer is present. Anne overhears this and becomes frustrated with Hot Pop after purposely lying to her about something so incredibly substantial to getting her way back home. And now with Anne running away in tears, Hot Pop has to tell Polly and Sprig about her disappearance. Now this could have been the reference to one of the many stresses Hobbediah manifested within one of his very own nightmares that then turned into a dream. One of them being the very first one, which was heartbreak. Also, I would like to publicly apologize for not noticing the giant frog holding a pollywog in the background. Perhaps this is a deep foreshadow for something. Another thing was that Hot Pop is usually always seen in a hunchbacked position whenever he's saddened or depressed, probably hinting to the second stress statue. Let's just hope the third one never comes to fruition, if you know what I mean. While Hot Pop makes his way to find Anne, Polly and Sprig investigate to go and see what's happening to the disappearance of multiple valuables throughout the land. On their way there, you can see the same creatures that we've seen before inside of the ancient bunker from episode 1 of this season. They look to be animals, possibly rabbits mixed with cats maybe, I'm just guessing here, but I bet there's a reason for why they keep showing them, but only time will tell. Eventually they come across a burrow leading into the main pit with all the other townsfolk's belongings, which soon gets them into trouble and stuck. But thankfully, by the time Hobbediah finds Anne and nearly is about to tell her of his dark past secret, they manage to work together and save the day. Anne soon returns to nearly leaving the Plantars once more, but before she continues, Hot Pop finally breaks into confessing why he hid the Calamity Box. He begins to explain what happened to Polly and Sprig's parents, as their deaths were due to a heron attack that transpired in the town. The same birds we saw that were notorious for preying on the flesh of anything alive. Hobbediah of course felt extreme guilt for not being there for them, and even though both of their kids however were able to survive by hiding underneath the house where the basement resided, the same place Anne uses as her own personal room, this definitely sums up why Hobbediah is extraordinarily protective, and why someone like him should be the last person to ever suffer from a heartache of all things. And when it comes to the location of where Sprig and Polly hid, looking back at the very first episode of this entire show, this possibly could have also been the same room their parents used to experiment mutating plant life. Get it? Because they're the plant... Wait, did I just figure out the whole... Also, I would make a theory about them still having the possibility of being alive, yet I just still don't see a reason for why they would want to do that without letting the family know. That is, unless somehow the heron attack wasn't an accident and it was planned or something, but I don't know. In the end, Hobbediah finally shows the family the Plantar's family book, which he himself says,
"This book has been in our family for as long as I can remember."
So yeah, if that isn't a connection between King Andrias or the kingdom in any way, then I've got nothing else. The next episode on the list is the First Temple, so be on the lookout for many mysteries ahead. This will more than likely be Marcy's trial that they have to finish to first power up the green gem. So like always, thank you all for participating into another video. Please give the video a like and subscribe if you have not for whatever reason. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace!